Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As we're about to title today's video, I've created 10 builds in NBA 2K23. What have I learned? So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to 2,000 likes. Now, I will say, I did delete the second build slot right here. It was my original Giannis build that I made day one, actually for that matter, kind of day zero, because I did end up going to LA, getting the game a little bit early, and I was able to test some things out. So, I will show you the actual stats of that build just for reference. But as you can see, all the builds that I've had, I have really been early in the year a little bit more of a pure inside scorer, where this build was pure inside. It was my Ben Simmons build that I made kind of on like the second week of the game or so, and this was one of my favorite builds as well. It really gave me a lot of fun through the early part of the year, but as you can see, I haven't played on it since literally early December. And ironically, if you guys are looking for this, you can see the created date below the last played date as well. So I created this, 9-12, so mid-September, stuff like that. Now, this build right here is my pure 1v1 build. I'll go over the ratings and stuff like that. I just kind of want to introduce you guys to all of the builds and show you a little preview of what they are. So this one was a pure 1v1 build. I made it just for the 1v1 court. I wanted to grind the points and, go for the legend quest and stuff like that, not knowing what the legend quest was going to be. Come to find out, it's complete garbage. But regardless, I did make a pure 1v1 build. This was a kind of fun build in the moment, but the core badge progress was extremely slow back then, and it was really annoying to try and get the Hall of Fame quick first step that I gave it with the 99 post control that it has. Not to mention, too, I didn't give it enough playmaking badges for Hall of Fame Unpluckable, so that was a little bit unfortunate as well. And also, with the rebirths came like you being able to get all of your takeover perks that you have on all the other builds and the gym rat. Now, all of these builds to the left of this inside out shot creator did not have gym rat, did not have any of the accelerator extender perks like that. So it was really bad for the sake of all these builds. Now this build right here is the one that I grinded for accelerator and extender on though. So I was able to still get that on this build. And then everything after creating all these builds, like the two-way glass cleaning finisher, aka my little big man build. I will try and get this out of the gutter a little bit too. It's a little bit unfortunate. I made this before the steel patch, and this is what we're here to talk about in this video as well, is the unfortunate truth to just a 2K cycle. So let's just backtrack a little bit in that whole accelerator talk I was just having. Because I got accelerated on the main Ben Simmons build, I was able to make a new one that had like gold anchor 93 blocks, stuff like that. I was able to retool it a little bit, give it less driving layup than original, because my thought was that I wanted the long athlete layup package. Come to find out, the more you play the game, I don't think that's exactly necessary, let alone even the best layup in the game. I think Zach LaVine and George Gervin are low-key the best, and it's 80 and 70 for those requirements. So that's that, and this is my main build, I would say. This is the one that I have spent the most time on NBA 2K23 with, and the most enjoyable time on 2K23 with. It fits my style perfectly. I've been a ball handler, I've been an elite defender with it. It's been my comp pro-am team that I've played wagers, I've played pro-am like playoff series with and stuff like that too, and it's been an undersized big man that's a secondary ball handler and plays elite defense as well, great rebounding. It's been one of my favorite builds, 100%. So then to backtrack a little bit, we already talked about the pure post that I was talking about, where it was the 1v1 build, 6'11", really good defense. We had the two-way three-point shot creator. This one I got Saboteur with at least, and I was able to actually utilize this with a takeover perk. It's just that the no gym rat is a little bit annoying to load up on every now and then, but it actually is a pretty good build. It, believe it or not, has 50 driving dunk, and this literally just gets, I believe it was Manu Ginobili and CJ McCollum dunk packages, and it actually can still dunk the ball pretty viably. It was a really good 1v1 build. Believe it or not, it's actually a better 1v1 build than this one right here. I mean, it had elite defense, it had 92 perimeter D, 93 block, 95 steal as well. It was able to get gold glove, gold clamps, gold challenger, gold anchor, all that stuff, and it was like a really versatile perimeter lockdown defender, and still has like 82, 83 three-pointer. I believe it was, yeah, 83. And the playmaking was pretty solid too, I would say so myself. It had like 76 pass act with good ball handle, good speed with ball, all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think this build actually was pretty fire in retrospect. I just haven't really found a time to use it very much. I'm not much of a corner spot up kind of guy. Obviously, I have the ball in my hands a good bit, and then if I don't have the ball in my hands, I'm a screener and a pick and roller. So that's really the way I play. Now, speaking of the ball in my hands, I made this original 6'1" inside out shot creator, and this was a build with like 86 prim D, 85 steal. It had 92 three-pointer, all the standard things that the outside PGs had, but I gave it a good bit of finishing badges. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it is extremely hard to grind these defensive badges on a build like this, and I didn't have it in me, to be real with you. Now, maybe later on in the year, I'll get back to grinding this a tad bit, because I actually do have some fun on, like, the outside PGs and stuff like that, and I think this would be a fun build to play with. Not to mention play around with some jump shots that small guards get, etc., etc. It gets gold takeoff, it gets, like, contact dunks as well. I think I gave it smalls. I'm not exactly sure on that. It might not have. It might have been 75 vertical, but anyway, not exactly my favorite build as far as that goes, but it's just because it doesn't fit my style that great. And we already mentioned the one that does fit my style really great to a T, perfectly, two-way diamond finisher. The little big man, this is a build with 99 offensive rebound, 99 steal, 97 prim D. It gets a ton of Hall of Fame defensive badges. It's just unfortunate. I never found a great spot to put it. As far as park goes, I kind of faded away from wanting to play park as much on a build like this too, and just in general, I got a whole lot more in the Pro-Am after making this build. And again, they really did nerf this build pretty hard. The 99 steel builds in general are just, in my opinion, kind of bad after this whole pluck steel patch. The back plucks were really what let this kind of be excelling and really good as a build, if you ask me, and that being nerfed really just put it in the dirt, personally. But anyway, next up, we have my inside out scorer. Now, this and the diming inside out scorer are my new 5-out builds. So this one has 78 pass ac. I made it intending to be a little bit more of a pick and roll, pick and pop option as the 2 guard on a 5-out team, where I could play along with another point guard that's a little bit more of like a pick and roll ball handler, and then I could get my own little 5-out sets where maybe I'm just a wing ISO, stuff like that. Come to find out, I really wanted to play as like a true 5-out point guard, so I made this build. My most recent one, the diming inside out scorer. This one has 92 pass accuracy, has pretty much all the same stuff I have on offense with this build, just even higher pass ac, even higher 3-pointer, and then I just took down the offensive rebound. This build had 85 O board, so I was able to really contribute as far as that goes on the O board crashing, because again, I was thinking I was going to be a little bit more pick and roller, drive and kick, wanted to be down there for the O board opportunities. Silver rebound chaser and gold box out beast could still get some of the job done as well. So I actually did like that for a good bit, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to continue using this build right here, because I think this one is my new true 5-out build for sure. And then, aside from the 5-out builds, we have the Paint Beast. So this is my remade Giannis build right here. So I deleted the original Giannis build because this one's just an upgraded, better version. It has Accelerator, it has Gym Rat, it has better attribute caps in general, didn't miss certain thresholds, so I needed an open slot for the builder. So that just happens to be how it is. So we're gonna go into the builds kind of one by one, and I'm just gonna detail them for like a quick 20 seconds or so. All right, so we're not spending way too much time here on this video, but I'm gonna showcase you guys to these in chronological order. So just kind of keep a mental toll on this. It's gonna be pretty much in the order that I created them, essentially. Also, I'm sure when I load these builds up, it's gonna have like extra badge points I can put on and stuff. Like as you can see, I have one extra to put on this build, but we'll go ahead and just showcase like the updated, most recent thing I was doing with the build as far as the badge loadout goes. So the perk to this one, as far as comparing it to my main new Ben Simmons build, is that it got gold acrobat and gold fearless finisher. So those were a couple nice little perks to it. You can see I actually haven't even played with this build since the double core badge loadouts were available. So like ideally I'd be on something like this right here between double playmaking, double defense, or the double finishing. But either way, I just wanted to show you what the build looked like most recently. The problem with this build was the anchor wasn't exactly the greatest, and in my opinion, that's where it really just fell short. So it had 82 block, 81 for the badge point and stuff like that. It had post control on it too, which was really troll looking back and in retrospect, and I just think that was one of the most troll things about the build. 88 driving layup as well. On the other build, I went with 86 pass accuracy. And then also, like I said, I buffed the interior defense. I buffed the block by quite a bit, actually 11 for that matter. And then I went up to 84 interior defense as well. Ended up with a little bit less driving layup, a little bit more standing dunk, and then way less post control. And then the close shot was pretty significantly, actually insignificantly different. So it was just 65 on the new build. So I upgraded the vertical as well, up to 88. Other than that, not too many tweaks as far as the build goes. It was just a remastered version, and this is the old version. Wasn't exactly the greatest, but again, it was the original Gym Rat build I got. It was the original Accelerator build I got, and overall, I didn't hate the build. It was actually really going. And as you can see, the my points, my God, I mean, look at that. I was all the way into this 99 stuff. So debatably, this is the one I've played the game with the absolute most, for sure. I mean, you can see I'm deep into that 99 overall. All right, so real quick, I'm just going to showcase to you the original Giannis build that I had. And it's obviously like hard for me to find this because it's only on YouTube archives. It's not actually in my builder anymore because I had to delete it for the open slot. So as you can see, it got 90 vertical and ended up with only 74 strength. You're probably wondering, well, why do that when you can get silver brick wall at 76? Well, 89 interior defense gave you silver brick wall. So it had great interior D, good block, 93 as well, good prim D, good steal. Overall, just a pretty good build. And you're going to see my new Giannis build is really insignificant changes, to be honest with you. It's not very different in the vertical. Actually, it's not at all. And then it's not very different in interior defense, the prim D, anything on defense at all, really. It's only different on pass accuracy. I move it up to 76. I also have a little bit less close shot, a little bit less post control as well, and then way less driving layup. And you're probably asking, well, what does that get you? Well, I ended up with Hall of Fame anchor as well. Again, a little bit better of a pass accuracy threshold on top of that. And honestly, the main reason I made this switch was just the fact that I don't have accelerator. I didn't have the gym rat. It's just tedious, man. And it's really unfortunate, that's the truth. I know as a viewer, you're probably like, wow, this guy really spent another $100 on a build like this when he could have just like kept a build like this anyway and dealt with the pass accuracy problems and stuff like that too. I know it sounds pretty, you know, conceited, and it's pretty stupid that I would do something like that, but it's the truth. It's what I did, and I don't regret it, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to have a good bit of fun playing on that build. I haven't really played on it like too much, but I know I'm going to find a way to do it sometime this year, and I wanted a better, updated version, essentially, of it. Alright, so next up, we have the pure 1v1 build. This is a pretty hilarious build right here. I actually think it could have been pretty viable and pretty fire. It's just, the truth came down to the fact that honestly, the dunk meters weren't exactly worth doing, like in comparison. I just felt like the standing dunks were so crazy overpowered, and also it just made sense to have more shooting on a build that's more 1v1 oriented, because then if I run it inside bigs, it's kind of just over. Like, the tall bigs beat me in every way possible. Now, as you can see, this build had no core badges. Mind you, it's a 96 overall. That is how significant this stuff was. I mean, you can see I was working toward the rise up, I was working toward fast twitch, still couldn't get posterizer, obviously. Fearless finisher was still working on it, slithery, limitless takeoff. I mean, bro, it was crazy how slow the core badge progress worked early on in the year. Not to mention, to get the Hall of Fame quick first step, I had to get the 99 post control, which is going to take way longer as well. It's just too many attribute caps, too many like slow badge coring and stuff like that. It just got so tedious to load up on, man. And again, not to mention, I can't even get unpluckable because I didn't give it enough playmaking badges. I want it to be a significant, like a crazy finisher, and have like fearless, fast twitch, rise up, poster, slithery, limitless takeoff, acrobat, all that stuff. But in retrospect, not exactly worth it, to be real. And ideally, I would have an anchor core as well, because then it'd give me other things as well. But it just is what it is, man. And again, the core badge progress is way too slow in this stage of the game. So it is what it is. Not exactly a good build. As you can see, it doesn't have gym rat, the takeover perks. It's like, it doesn't have accelerator, it doesn't have extender. It just has juice and saboteur, and that's it. And it's not exactly good for a build like this. I think I would definitely need accelerator and to be ideally using it to the same level as my new builds that I have. Alright, so next up we have my pure lockdown. That is a little bit less of a dunker, a little bit more of a shooter, and I actually will say I love the way the ratings were like laid out on this build. I will say I probably should have got 70 driving layup in retrospect. The default small is still very good. I think 70 is more so just for the gathers, aka the George Gervin package. It really is something that would be like significant in that way, but again, to be real with you, it probably isn't really necessary. I think the default small is plenty fine as far as just a clean, concise layup package that just gets the job done quickly. So 83 three-pointer, and again, it can still dunk. Do not sleep on this dunk ability, bro. 45 standing dunk and 50 driving actually is pretty fire. You should look up videos on this if you want. I obviously have them on the channel, but anyway, the pass act goes to 75. It's plenty fine. Obviously, LeBron pass style, stuff like that. 77 speed of ball, just for a badge point, and 75 is all I have it at right now. 89 ball handle for the Hall of Fame quick first step. We have crazy defense on this. It's really fire, if you ask me. This is a really good lock build, in my opinion. It's just the fact that it has horrible finishing. But, oh well. I mean, you could be a spot up. You could be elite defender on this. It's good speed. The vertical is one thing that is a little bit troll on this. I will say the chase down blocks are not as elite as you would like, but it can still definitely get the job done as far as interior defending goes. I think you want to play a little bit more like a prim lock. You don't really want to guard the interior at a crazy rate, but I gotta say, bro, while you might think with this vertical it's complete troll, I still think it was pretty decent. Like, with the fact that I could run the Hall of Fame chase down, I could still run the gold anchor, etc., good interior defense. It's hard to dunk on this build, man. It really is, and it's an elite defender, too. I was going crazy on people as well when I was running on this, like the bum 1v1, where you match up with other people that are 92 overall and below. I had Saboteur on this build with double lock take and was running gold glove with like double prim badge drop as well, or prim badge drop and extreme clamps, whatever the case may be. And it really is crazy, bro. It was a really fun build to play with. But as you can see, finishing badge is pretty interesting. I mean, fast twitch and rise up is plenty good, and I probably would have ended up running the double shooting core for this as well, but still needed the 17 shooting to be able to get like one of these tier 3s between like maybe blinders or something like that. It just fell short. I never ended up getting that, to be honest. So like, obviously I would only need actually 16 for that matter, but just a little bit short. Never got that, and oh well. I mean, I'll probably load up the build another time sometime, but as far as the core badge progress goes, it's not exactly there on everything, again, because it's slower core badge progress. I just couldn't get it. And again, I probably won't even load up this build just off the sole purpose of I grinded for accelerator, don't have it. I grinded for gym rat, don't have it. It's pretty annoying to load up the game on brand new or on different builds when I have to do this every single time I do it, and it's pretty rare occasion I'd want to do so. It's probably like once a week at best, or maybe once every 2 weeks, and I don't know, just not exactly ideal to load up on builds like this, but decent build overall, if you ask me. All right, next up we have my 6'1" guard, like the small guy, essentially. And as you can see, the badge count is fire on this. 26, 24, 25, and 18. I can still put an extra badge point on as well. Maybe like shooting, something like that. Problem being, as you can see, the finishing badge count is so tedious to get this stuff up on, bro. So as you can see, I have 17 badge points on the finishing, but the problem is I would have to core at least one of the finishing badges between like poster, slithery, something like that. And then I don't even have my layup up either. So you can see that I have some troll badges on in this tier 1 stuff. Can't run fast twitch, can't run fearless finisher, can't run acrobat, can't do any of that. I kind of screwed this build over with the way I upgraded it, to be honest. I should have upgraded it in a more playable way to grind. I gave it really bad Prim D and steal as well, so it was really hard to get pluck steals. I couldn't grind the defensive badges. As you can see, I only have 6 defensive badges out of 18, so that's already like a crazy grind too. And I'd have to get enough badges to even run glove and interceptor, then start running them in game. And it's just hard, man. It's hard to play on a 6'1" without teammates that are like really like set up perfectly to play with this type of a build as well. I'd have to play with other teammates that are like locks, bigs, this, that, and the other. I don't play with enough people that are like that, to be honest with you. I really, especially early in the year, was always the guy who would be playing either as the lock or the big, or sometimes even doing both, to be real with you. I'd be like guarding ball and running screens. It's the next build that we're actually going to showcase like right after this. But overall, I don't hate this build. It actually did get accelerator and extender and stuff like that too, so it has some viability to it. I could always come back to this. It's just I'd have to spend more time grinding it as well, but who knows, maybe we'll do that as well. But just to show the attributes one last time, 92 3-pointer, 95 ball handle, the Hall of Fame unpluckable. Would have liked to get this Hall of Fame clamp breaker in retrospect, but yeah, overall, it was a decent build, I would say. All right, so as I just mentioned, now we're going to show my main build, the one I have had absolutely the most fun on this game with, and is probably just the best build I've made, period, and it suits me the best as well, I would say. So as you can see, 5 million my points into this as well. It's not even close to what I had on the main build, or like the original build that I made with Ben Simmons, but as you're going to see, the badge counts defensively, this is unbelievable. It's the Comp Pro-Am build. I need to run a lot of different badges on this, from anchor to brick wall to rebound chaser to interceptor, clamps, chase down, challenger, box out beast glove, menace. We got things like workhorse. I could, you know, pivot back and forth between some of these tier 1s and just what points I'm spending on them and stuff like that. But other than that, clamp breaker, needle threader, quick first step, hyperdrive. I mean, it's a fire build, bro, in my opinion. Like, it really fits me well. It has the silver aerial wizard, silver fearless finisher, silver acrobat, and then the gold on takeoff, poster, and slithery. As far as the ratings on it, I moved the close shot down to the point where it doesn't force the mid-range up at all. So if I went up to 66 mid, it would have forced my mid up to 26. Same with like, I like the 50 free throw. It's plenty hittable if you ask me. 75 standing dunk is really fire on the build. 94 driving dunk just for the badge point. 93 ideally for the gold poster. 80 driving layup for the Zach LaVine layup package and the jelly and all types of stuff like that. It's still good. 86 pass sack, 87 ball handle, 75 speed of ball. As you can see, the interior defense buff that I put on the build, the block buff that I put on the build. We got also like the vertical up to 87 as well. I mean, overall, it's just a better version of the original build that I made at the beginning of the year, and I actually am a big fan of it, to be honest with you. Not to mention I was able to retool where I put my extra badges and stuff like that. Wanted to put them purely into defense on this one, so it's perfect if you ask me. This is my favorite build that I made all year, and I'm glad that I ended up remaking my original build. And I know people are going to clown me for remaking builds and stuff like that, making them just like the last one I had, but in a better upgraded version. But it is what it is, bro. And you know what? I don't have a good way of justifying it other than to say I'm a content creator. Obviously, I, you know, make my living off like making the videos and stuff like that. And, you know, at the end of the day, making more and more builds that just suit the play style of me better, or just in general will suit content better. It is what it is. Now, real quick, I gotta show this guy, bro. I gotta show the actual player itself. Look at this man right here. This is the little big man. Now, little big man right here is 6'6" at the power forward position, and as you can see, 265 pounds. Didn't put the extra badge point on him, but what I was able to do was get the glove and interceptor core before the, like, you know, pluck steal nerf. So long term, this build will get Hall of Fame clamps, Hall of Fame challenger, Hall of Fame glove, interceptor, rebound chaser, brick wall, and box out beast. That's insane, bro. It's actually crazy. And I do kind of want to give this build another try sometime, but I got to find a way to actually play park, man. It's just, I don't know. Nobody wants to anymore, and I actually wouldn't mind it. As you can see, I need to get that poster core as well. Playmaking, not really sure. I'm not really sure what I would go for, to be honest, because it's probably gonna have to be clamp breaker, but really it could just be quick first step. Getting a little bit close to it, actually very close for that matter too. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, it's an incomplete build for sure. But rating wise, I mean, look at this stuff, bro. 93 driving dunk, 75 standing dunk. We got close shot decent as well. We got driving layup to 82, probably for the badge point. Also, we got the pass act, the ball handle, the speed with ball everywhere that it needs it. I don't have the speed with ball where it needs to be either, and I didn't get to try the Michael Jordan dribble style yet. So I need to give this build the time of the day. I'll grind this eventually too. As we get deeper in the year, I'm sure I'll be a little bit more interested in getting back into the park scene a little bit, and I think this build could be kind of fun to play with, bro. The pure lock aspect of it, the offensive rebounding, the vertical still decent as well, the 94 strength as well, and just it's a cool content build. So I'm pretty satisfied with this one, but overall it's not something I've played enough on. I'll put it like that. Alright, so now we're going to go a little bit faster on these builds right here because these are the new ones I've made. I have recent videos on the channel of them and stuff. So this is my original 5-out build. As you can see, 94 driving dunk, 80 driving layup, 75 standing dunk with good close shot as well, 85 three-pointer for the silver limitless range as well, and silver agent 3. And overall, it's a pretty good build. I mean, good pass act. It was what I intended it to do. It's just my role kind of changed eventually. I didn't run as much shooting guard, pick and roller, pick and popper aspect that I thought I was going to do. I ended up with the ball in my hands a whole lot more, and I wanted more elite pass act, to be honest with you, and like 89 three-pointer for gold agent 3 as well. So yeah, that's how that went. Now this build actually has really good defense too. 86 prim D, 85 steal, 85 offensive rebound, and has a silver rebound chaser. I ended up coring that as well. As you can see, boom, there it is, and it has pretty much everything I would want, to be honest with you. Now this is my ones loadout. Let me go to the program loadout real quick. So you can see Challenger, Clamps, Interceptor, Workhorse, Glove, Box Out Beast. It's everything that I would need defensively. And I actually guarded ball with this as well, for that matter. And it definitely can, to be honest. Now, playmaking-wise, I was running the double playmaking core. I ended up not running the double shooting core. For a little while, I was running the double shooting core, and I had no finishing. And the no finishing was pretty simple to run. It just meant I ran no Giant Slayer, no Aerial Wizard, and I was able to have everything I needed after that. Plenty doable. And then I was able to just like run a ton of shooting badges. I ended up grinding for the catch and shoot core, the limitless core. I even got blinders core, man. I mean, I was going hard on this build, really trying to grind this stuff because I wanted to like go at the 5-out really like extremely hard, man. I wanted to really make this stuff work. And I ended up getting the build at 99. I didn't really get too much further than that as well, but overall, man, it's a good build. I'll probably still play on it a tad bit as well. Maybe even for like the sake of 3v3, but probably not for Pro-Am. Depends. And I'm going to skip over the Giannis build real quick because that's the chronological order. It was the build I made before this one, but I just wanted to draw the comparisons real quick between the original 5-out build and this new 5-out build. So, new 5-out build drops off the offensive rebounding and the defensive rebounding. I'm more of a perimeter defender. I just guard shooting guards. Simple as that. I no longer guard ball, like intentionally. And you might think this defense is not good enough, but it's pretty good, bro, to be honest with you. And it's going to get the 56 interior D, good speed, good excel, good vertical, enough to obviously, like, you know, just be the bare minimum for what I want to go for. And it's a new 6'9". Now, I kept it 6'9" because I still need the good finishing badge tiering. It'd be really, really tough to make a 5-out build where you have things like Limitless and Slithery both in tier 3, and then I need a double finishing core or something like that as well. I would much rather the double playmaking core. Now, I will get this unpluckable eventually. It'll be an extra badge point, and then boom, I could throw it somewhere. I don't really know where, to be honest with you, but this double playmaking core looks fire. It's got the Hoff Dimer, Hoff Needle Threader, gold bailout, gold quick first step, got clamp breaker, handles for days, unpluckable, hyperdrive as well. The shooting is enough in my opinion. I think the gold blinders, gold agent 3, and then gold green machine as well with silver limitless range is plenty enough. If I wanted to take either blinders or limitless off maybe, because you do have to shoot from pretty far to get the limitless shots. I could throw it into like volume, clutch, something like that. The finishing badge loadout looks pretty good too. I'll eventually core the poster. I'm working on that, but right now we have limitless core. Believe it or not, me of all people would be the only person in this game to get limitless core before poster. It's crazy. And then yeah, for defense, it's everything I would need in my opinion. Silver Challenger, bronze clamps, silver interceptor, and then I got silver workhorse right now. I'll probably put another defensive badge point on, maybe, I guess, we'll see. I don't know, I might even have fun going crazy into playmaking, but yeah, I think this still looks pretty good, and I just wanted to draw the comparisons between my two 5-out builds. And then lastly, we have the new updated Giannis build. So this is my new 6'11 center, and I do really want to play with this in Pro-Am long term. I'm not sure how though yet, to be honest. Now, this build is really cool. So it gets playmaking takeover as well, which is a really big boost and a really cool thing that I actually kind of modified the build for. And as you can see, 76 pass act, 70 ball handle, and then 67 speed with ball. It's got 93 driving dunk, 90 standing, with only 77 driving dunk, because that's all I really needed in my opinion. Don't really need anything more than the George Gervin layup package. And then just for fearless finisher on silver. And then close shot at 60. We didn't want to up the midi at all. And honestly, it started upgrading post control too if I went higher in the 60s. And I didn't want that at all. I wanted to make the most out of every attribute point I could spend on this build. So besides that, we have interior D, prim D, steal at a really, really crazy level. Hall of Fame anchor as well, with gold rebound chaser, Hall of Fame box out beast, and the build in general is crazy, bro. I mean, it's still 90 vertical as well. It's got everything from the speed to excel. It's got really good stamina. Overall, the real reason I wanted to make it was A, play take, B, takeover perk, and C, the gym rat. So I got all of that, and now I think the build is actually pretty playable, and I can still run the double cores as well. Probably going double defense for that matter in the long term. You can see right now I have the double playmaking on because that's all I have currently. And I don't even know, maybe I won't go double defense because I probably could just take off Pogo and put it on brick wall, like simple as that, and then boom, there we be. I don't have it on because I don't have enough interior defense for silver yet, but as you can see, it would fill in pretty manageably. It's not going to be hard to run the double defense core, or I should say I don't need to run the double defense core because I'm going to have plenty of defensive badges to spend. So it'll probably be something like double finishing. Maybe I'll get like fast twitch and rise up both core, but that's a long ways away. More likely it'd probably be poster and rise up, but even rise up is going to take a minute as well. So long story short, those are all my builds of 2K23. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't think I'm going to make any more builds this year. I think I've reached everything that I need to. I have a small guard. I have a like 3-point shooting lock. I got multiple ball handling, lockdown, slashing, rebounders and stuff like that I love, including this build as well. And yeah, I think I got everything I want. So that is off video. Let me know if you learned anything from this vid too, if like you picked up on my like failures and my tendencies and stuff like that too. But if you made it to the end of the vid, put build in the comments, short sports my way through. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff. And other than that, man, take it easy. Peace.